Good day, everyone. Today, we are talking about central tendency. In this lesson, we're going to discuss central tendency and its effects to the data set. And then we're going to create a write report on the data collected. That's what we're doing today. All right, our essential question for the lesson is going to be, how does central tendency satisfy the precise definition of mathematics? That is what we're trying to answer today. All right. So that's the end of that review. Now let's focus on statistics. Again, how does it satisfy the precise definition of mathematics? Do not forget, let's remember, the precise definition of mathematics is the techniques to explain, understand, and manage reality by ciphering, counting, measuring, classifying, ordering, inferring, and modeling patterns arising in the environment. By now, we should know this definition. Now, in January, I told you to remember this. Data is a number that tells a story, a statistic. Now, this is my definition. Someone should have said Howard's definition. Data tells a story to inspire change. Like, for example, when we watch the news was giving you all the data to tell the story to inspire change for us. You know, like for example, what happened to the poor girl who went to the beach. Now, because we watch this news, we now are a little bit more cautious about going to the beach during spring break with strangers. All right, the precise definition of statistics. See, even statistics has a precise definition, which is the technique of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data to make decisions. Hmm, pause for a moment. What do you know is about the precise definition of statistics and the precise definition of mathematics? Okay, so look, let's review. A statistical question is one for which you do not expect to get a single answer. Instead, you expect a variety of answers and you are interested in the distribution and the tendency of those answers. This is leading to our lesson for today. All right, central tendency. This lesson, I'm gonna be honest with you, is really a middle school lesson. You was taught this in middle school, and I'm just bringing this up because you have never seen it since. Because I know no math teacher, high school math teacher, care to review this very basic topic. So, a central tendency is a measure, it's a number that represents a typical value of collection of numbers. Three familiar measures of central tendencies are mean, median, and mode. The mean is known as your average or your arithmetic average. So, for example, the sum of all your data points divided by the total numbers of data you have. So N in particular represent the number of data points in the distribution. So if you guys notice your grades, it is the mean of your performance in my classroom. So you guys didn't realize, so you've been dealing with central tendency throughout your whole educational life. The median is the middle point or the average of two data points when the data points is arranged in the numerical order. You guys in particular don't have to worry about putting things in order because Desmos is going to show you, is going to do all that for you. The mode is the value that occurs the most. So in other words, it's the peak. All right, so let's define these parts. Cluster. So if I'm saying a cluster, cluster means that they are all bunched up next to each other. The gap is, how far it's apart from other sets of data, as you see. And the peak, as I already stated, is the mode in this case. The number that repeats the most, in this case, is the 20. Alright, I want you to pause this video and answer this question for yourself. I'm not going to, tell you what's incorrect. I need for you to do that for yourself. This is going to give you some form of practice. Alright, now, before we work on our project with what we did in class, we need to talk about an example. So, I have camp registrations. So, remember I told you that you're going to at some point write about it? So, I'm going to show you how to do this in Desmos. In fact, I already posted a video on it, so you should be somewhat familiar how to put this in Desmos. And we're going to deal with our central tendency. So let's look at the cluster peak and gap. So you determine this for me. Pause the video, figure the cluster, the peak, and the gap. And let's just see it from there. Pause the video and give it a shot. Alright, welcome back. I'm not going to review or go over this because this is something for you to try. Alright, now this is me putting the data in Desmos. Now Desmos, as I show you in the video, could only do mean and median because Desmos is like, well, you smart enough, you can see what the mode is. It won't do mode for you. So now I'm gonna make an inference. So using all my skills, I'm gonna write some up quick and pretty. So the average Kemper registration is 180. The peak or mode of Kemper registration is 25. The median Kemper registration is 24. The Kemper registrations cluster from 21 to 25, and then there's a gap between 16 Kemper registrations to 21. All right, now hopefully you guys got a sense of what I'm asking you to do. The data that we took when we took our posts from everybody, from the 10, 30, and 60, you are going to now go to Desmos, create you some stuff, and write yourself a little report.